What's going on? It's another day. I'm just trying to live my life. And today, let's talk about lust and talk about how that's the hardest battle that you're going to have to face during your spiritual journey. And it's not easy. For me, as long as I can remember, I've been, lusting over other women. I've been constantly watching porn, excessive porn use, following girls, Instagram, whatever, the whole 9 yards. And there's temptation literally everywhere. You go outside, there's temptation. You go on the phone, there's temptation. And it's really hard to break that cycle. And, a lot of us, we just go to it for comfort. A lot of times you're stressed, you're in a bad mood, you're depressed, you're sad. Even when you're happy, you still go to porn. You get this fake dopamine rush. And by the time you're done doing your thing, you feeling instant regret, and it just keeps you at that low frequency. It keeps you at that low rate. And I realized with semen retention especially that there's ways to elevate not only your consciousness, but there's ways to elevate your frequency just by not ejaculating. And it's not easy because like I said, so many of us men out there, we just go to it for comfort, and it's so easy to go to, especially with all the distractions, with all the temptation out there. But the devil is gonna tempt you, and you gotta have that self-control, because once you can really conquer that, you can conquer anything. And I know for me, that was one of the hardest things to overcome. I've faced many addictions and stuff like that, but nothing was as big as my lust addiction. Like, I didn't know how to break it. And it took for me to hurt other people and to see the damage that I've caused to lead me to have this guilty conscience. I felt hella guilty, and it made my girlfriend feel all types of ways. And the last thing I want to do is bring others down with me. I realized it's actually a deep-rooted issue. A lot of times we don't even realize because we're just so used to doing it for as long as we can remember. But it is a deep-rooted issue, and once you can get to the bottom of that, sky's the limit. And it starts with forgiveness, because lots of us hold on to so much resentment for things done wrong to us in the past, people who did us dirty, people who disrespected us. And you got to learn to just forgive, not accept it, not like say like, oh, okay, this is how you should be treating me, but just forgive it and say, I forgive you, and I want to move forward. And it doesn't even just stop there. You got to learn how to forgive yourself. And for me, that was the hardest thing to do, forgive myself, because I'm constantly in my head. I'm constantly telling myself what I should have done, how I should have done things better, and causes me to just be burnt out on a whole other level. So once I'm doing that, of course, what am I going to go to? I'm going to go to porn. And you're going to get tested, and that karma will catch up to you, especially if you got a good girl at home, and you're causing relationship issues because of your addiction, because of your lust. You can't stop following girls on Instagram or wherever. You can't stop watching porn, and that karma is going to catch up to you. Because for me, it ate me alive. I had a hell of a guilty conscience, and last thing I want to do is bring others down with me. Like I said, it's a deep-rooted issue, and I realized my depression is just something that I went to for comfort. And I was involved into a car accident, and my addiction got much worse after my car accident. And that was the one thing that was always there for me. It's like sort of like a girlfriend. It's sort of like a first love. Like, it's always there for you, and you get this false sense of reward from the dopamine rush that you get from it, and it's just causing all sorts of problems. Not only is it causing problems for relationships, but it's causing problems for men all around the world. It's messing up masculinity around men, because men, we just gonna constantly be in sit mode. The more and more we fap, the more and more you do your thing, you're just gonna constantly be in sit mode, and you're not even gonna know how to act. And it keeps you at that low frequency where you just are stuck in a mode of repeating the same patterns. So you have to learn how to break those patterns. You have to get to the root of the cause. And my book down below, I discuss my journey and what I went through, and how I went on a self-discovery spiritual journey, and how it really led me to ultimately stopping. For years I cannot stop it, but I can successfully say that I have conquered lust. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge, but change is possible. You know, no man want to be stuck in sit mode all the damn time, and that was for me. You know, it not only did it mess me up, but it messed up my self-esteem. And you know, I realized by stopping, it was beneficial not only for my relationship but for myself. And you know, I came on a long journey, and my transformation is proof that it works. You just have to get down to the deep rooted issue. You got to get down to learning forgiveness. You got to really learn how to let go, because if not, you're just going to keep repeating the same patterns, and then you're just going to be wondering why you're not making any progress. And once you can conquer that lust, you know, sky's the limit for you. You can conquer anything, because you know, for a lot of men out there, it's just so hard. It's really a struggle. And you know, I just want to help inspire men just by hearing my story. I feel like, you know, I've overcame some stuff, and you know, if anybody can learn from me or want to change because of me, then you know, I'll be happy. But yeah, make sure you subscribe below, leave a thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see y'all. Salute.